Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel Data Tech. I'm your host Anand Kumar. In this video, I will guide you through the step-by-step process of creating an impressive resume that effectively showcase your skills, experience, and qualification as a data engineer. Same steps or strategy can be used for data analyst and or data scientist. By the end of this video, you will have the knowledge and tools to craft a standout resume that catches the attention of a potential employers. Let's begin. The resume displayed on the screen is a sample resume, and we're going to use this to understand all these steps. So the first section of the resume, which I'm going to highlight, is the header. So always start your resume with a professional and a clear header. That includes your name, your contact information such as phone number, email address, and a LinkedIn profile. And please make sure your email address and LinkedIn profiles are clickable directly from the resume, because none of the recruiters want to copy paste all these things, and sometimes when they copy paste they make mistake. As we can see in Tony's resume, all his information is displayed very clearly. So please make sure, like when you're creating your header, all your information is neat and clean. And there is one more thing. Tony have his picture in it, but it is important to note that inclusion of a photo in a resume may be depend on your legal regulations or a personal choice. So based on your situation, you can include or not include it. It is something not required. It's like good to have, but it is not something mandatory. Personally, I prefer adding a photo to create a more authentic representation. Now we look at the second section. So second section is summary. It is very important to include a compiling summary in your resume. It's critical. Please make sure to tailor the summary to emphasize your data engineering, data analyst, or data science background, and also unique strengths that you bring to the table. So emphasize on your background and the unique strength that you bring to the table, and keep it brief. Like ideally, it should be around 2 to 3 lines. Please don't make it lengthy. The next section is the professional experience. So let me select that. Okay, and also let me reduce the size so we can see it all together. So it is very important section, because like any other job, like a software engineer or a supply chain manager or any job you name, here we do the same thing. Here we list our work experience in a reverse chronological order, starting with the most recent positions, and in this we include the company name, job title, location, employment dates. And as we can see in Tony's resume, like all the jobs he have or held so far are mentioned in this professional experience. Let me zoom in to show you. So you can see very clearly, like the job title, the department name, the company name is there. You can see this is the job title, company name, the duration, the employment dates, even the location. So this is very important to have all these information in your professional experience. And after that, we list our responsibilities as a data practitioners. Okay, as we can see, these are the our list of the responsibilities as a data engineer, or you are an analyst. We have to list these, and here the focus must be on quantifiable accomplishments using action verbs and metrics to demonstrate your contribution along with tools and technologies. And in simple words, we can say here, like mention your responsibilities which you can quantify. That make more impact on hiring managers or recruiters, because if you are able to quantify like your work, that demonstrate that you are a result oriented data engineer or an analyst or a scientist. Also, it also helps to demonstrate the like for example, I'll take this the first responsibility Tony have mentioned. You can look at this: lead the migration of SQL Server to Redshift using Amazon Athena and S3, resulting in an annual cost saving of 68,000 and increased performance of 11%. So he quantified that migration, and as I said, like it is something psychologically, like it's a number, and that help your resume to stick in the mind of a hiring professional. Okay. And also, like within the quantifiable things and action verbs, he also including tools and technologies. So like in his responsibilities, he is demonstrating the experience with tools and technologies. So another thing is, like for example, like if you look at the last line, build and maintain a data pipeline with uptime of 99.9% while ingesting transactional data across 5 data sources using Apache Spark, NiFi, and Hive. So from this line, I get it. Okay, he's an expert in like Apache Spark, NiFi, and Hive, and he is able to, like if you create a pipeline, the SLA for pipeline is like it's an up all the time 99.9%. So he is including the metrics there. He's able to quantify like his work. And please keep one thing in your mind, like when I say quantifiable, it need not necessarily means everything is quantifiable as a dollar. If you can do that, that's like the best thing. But some cases it won't be like it's very hard to quantify in that way, because like if you think from like for example like data engineering perspective, yes, it's hard in that sense because you're doing a lot of back-end work, and sometimes we as a data engineers don't understand the business impact. But however, if you're a data scientist or a data analyst, you might have a more like a dollar value in like oversight compared to a data engineers. So as I'm mentioning, like not everything could be quantified as a dollar, but it always good to have numbers in your resume, because psychologically all numbers always help your resume to stick in the mind of the hiring professionals or hiring managers. As you can see, like in this line, we could have write very simple or led a team of five senior data engineers, but Tony added like other thing that increased the he increased the productivity by 20% in 6 months through implementation of Agile framework. So in the same line, he was able to mention, okay, he's a leader who's managing a team of 5 senior data engineers, and at the same time he's saying, okay, the productivity he was able to manage by using Agile framework. So he is ingesting that, okay, he's aware about the Agile frameworks, like how to use Scrum and all those kind of things. So in your responsibilities, that's the most important things. Like we need to focus on quantifiable things and try to quantify things as much as possible, and whatever like technology using along with that, so it will be easy for a hiring manager to, like, he don't have to very specifically look into your resume, okay, how he know Apache Spark or how he know Redshift, how he knows. Because when you mention, okay, I did this migration from SQL Server to Redshift, so that means like, oh, he understands SQL Server, he understands Redshift, he's did using Athena and S3, all those kinds. So like that demonstrate the experience with tools and technology. And why I'm emphasizing too much on here, like this is really important to provide this. And as you can look into this resume, you will find like some dollar value, some percentage, and this is a sample, don't worry about it. Like I'm just put some like a sample here, but it's the main point is like quantify your responsibilities along with your tools and along with demonstrating your tools and technology responsibilities. There is one thing, if you will see in the last two, like in the first two roles, there is no responsibilities are mentioned. So basically what it means is, like don't include like list of responsibilities for a very old roles. Like leave them to for the interviews to have discussions. Generally, like hiring managers in my experience, they are more interested in like what you are doing and what you have done in like last 5 years or in recent years. Nobody cares like what you were doing in a role like maybe 6 years or 10 years ago, because technology changed, things change. So just keep the name of the role, like keep like the basic information, a role, company, employment date, location, and all these, but no need to add responsibilities. Because you can see like here, like I personally keep I'll say last 7 years of experience responsibilities, but anything beyond that I simply just name it and do it. And I know like for some roles it might be required, but for a senior data engineer, senior data scientist, or a data analyst, this strategy works. Okay, the next section is, let me select this, is showcase your technical skills. So always have a dedicated section to highlight the width of your technical knowledge, because not necessarily like you have used all of them in a project, or it's part of the responsibilities. So always have like a section for technical skills, where you include your programming language, database frameworks, cloud informations, and anything that you are proficient in it. Okay, the next is the education and certification. So certification is I have here. So, but the main point is, let me select this. So we need to have education and a certification sections, like any like professional summary. Just list your educational background, mention degrees, college, universities, school, graduation dates in reverse chronological order. So when I say professional summary, I mean professional experience. Like here we we mention about our various roles in a reverse chronological order. So same thing we have to follow. So always the most recent one should be at the top, and before, or like others below that. And certifications in, let me select this to certification in today's job market, including in today's job market, including the professional certifications, especially the cloud ones, has a significant impact on recruiters and hiring managers. It demonstrate it not necessarily shows your like expertise in it, but it also demonstrate like your enthusiasm for continuous learning. So I know like in this example we see Azure certified data engineer and AWS certified data engineers, but for example, if you are a data analyst or data scientist and you're doing some certifications in machine learning or even data engineering and those kind of things, that shows like it can be like a look into two ways. Like we can do a certifications like to upscale ourselves or to learn new things. So like it's always good to have some certifications on resume. And as I mentioned, like in 2023, cloud is a hot topic. If you have any cloud certifications, highlight them. And I'll personally recommend, like if you are actually certified, just put it in your summary too. Like, okay, Azure cloud data engineer, like Azure certified data engineer or AWS certified data engineer, something like that. If you're multi-cloud, that's more good. You can put that information in your header here. Okay. There is another thing like I wanna add is like find me online. This is generally a lot of people like don't do it, but I prefer like including your GitHub or any other, like for example, if you write blogs, if you have a YouTube channels, if you include this, that show to the hiring manager that for example, if you have a GitHub link, that shows that you can write or design code. And in case like if you're a data analyst, you can For example, you can include here your public Tableau dashboard information. So always include some these kind of information, like for example GitHub, blog, Stack Overflow. Like if you have like a something to show that like you're not just like you're not just okay, how would I say, like I'll say this, like for example, like what we have done in a project, in a in our current role or in our organizations, these are something which we can't show. It's like something we can only talk about it. But GitHub, Stack Overflow, YouTube, blogs, or Medium blog posts, like these are the places to show that we can actually do things. And believe me, it have a really good impact. The last thing I want to talk about is the size of the resume. As you can see, this is only one page of resume, and ideal size of a resume is typically 1 or 2 page. Believe me, I have hired people, and a lot of time people have 4 to 5 pages. I've seen resume of 9 pages too, but I personally prefer like 1 to 2 pages, as we can summarize, as I was talking, like we can focus only on important things and summarize them instead of like writing the whole stories. Because if you do that, first of all, there is a big possibility your resume will be rejected by HR only. But in, let's say, even if it get through HR to the hiring manager, hiring managers won't have that much time to read somebody's resume which is like 10 page, 9 pages. And believe me, I've seen those kind of resumes. So ideally, I'll say typical size should be 1 or 2 pages. I personally prefer 1 pages, because I believe like if you are very concise and you know your things, you can summarize everything within 1 page. And as I mentioned, I always stick to 1 page because it's easy to read, and yeah, it's easy to read, and like it don't take like a lot of time. So that's about the size of the resume. 2 more things I want to talk about: the resume format. I personally prefer PDF over Word documents, and one of the reasons is like it's not easily editable. So if you send a resume it is like more concise, more like it's more visually appealing, more structured compared to Word document sometimes, because Word document I have seen these problems, like the settings of the HR or let's say hiring manager could be different, and then your Word document doesn't look the same it is on your machine. I know like it's some people say, oh no, that's not the case, but I've seen that happening. And the other thing is like before like start creating your resume, or like have a one generic resume, and then include the keywords from the job descriptions. Like before applying to a job, my suggestion is like read about the job descriptions, pick up the keywords, and try to embed those keywords in your responsibilities, technical skills, summary somewhere. So at least when a bot is scanning your resume, they will be able to see your they will be able to catch those keywords, and you will pass that phase. I hope this will be very helpful for you guys, and believe me, like this kind of format I've been using for a long time, and if I apply for 10 jobs, I'll say almost 70% of times I get an interview call. That means like at least I passes that bot, HR, or even like a hiring managers, like they like these kind of resumes. So that's all for this video. Thank you. Stay tuned for upcoming videos.